Whatever you want, whoa, whatever you need, my heart belongs to you. Oh, whatever you need, there's nothing I won't do. Oh, whatever you want, my heart belongs to you. Whatever you need, my heart belongs to you. Whatever you need, there's nothing I won't do. Whatever you want, my heart belongs to you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we back. They tried it.
Hello, everyone. All right.
We back, man. We got our Pain back in the building. Yes, indeed. There he is, the man in charge. All right, Doc. It's back in your hands, Doc.
Yo, so listen. Okay, so the chat's still around, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, so listen. One of the things I think that we don't talk about enough is that why black men will choose a woman in college that serves them other than somebody giving them less than the kind of piece they want. I think there's hormonal issues involved as well, because a lot of women don't realize this, and I think black women definitely don't realize this. It's not the box that just matters. It's what you do for the guy after that shit's over. Men, after they finish with you, they might be looking for the door. It's how you serve them after it's over that makes them connect to you. Also, the hormone is what? Vasopressin, right? If you look up that hormone, that's the connection hormone that men use when women are in their space and gives them peace and kind of serves them, right? So that makes it, so it takes time for that to happen. So when you have white girls serving you and treating you nice, and of course, maybe some of them are not all nice, but let's just say the ones who are nice, who make you feel like you're important, that's how you cleave to the woman after you bust it out. If sisters, you could be banging them out and they're giving you nothing but agita in between fucks. So, and that doesn't make you close to them. You just feel good with them when you're banging them out. And then when it's over, you wish they would leave. So I think there's some hormonal issues that I think sisters need to understand. It's when they used to say to men that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. That's what they meant. Your servitude to him is what made him cleave to you. And a lot of people just shit just goes right over, especially the modern woman, goes right over their fucking head. So anyway, I think that's part of it too. Now, who knows?
I'm so fucking proud of you, man. I just can't get enough of our Pain's to you dropping dimes, nickels, quarters, 50-cent pieces, $2 bills tonight. You're in a unique experience tonight. I want you to know that I'm just so proud of you.
I'm like this all the time, man. I'm like this all the time.
Listen, where's the cash app for this man? Listen, y'all, send a fucking cash app or Zelle or Zoom, Ziggle or something to this nigga. This is ridiculous.
I'm gonna send you my PayPal cash.
Treat him like Umar Johnson with some sense. Hit the cash app.
Hit the cash app. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm just thinking. Go ahead. What my biggest issue really is that I'm tired of black men being gaslit, man. Fuck that. We don't owe the community a goddamn thing, man. Oh shit. We've done more than we can.
Raise them niggas.
we have
easy money. You see him? We got our Pain that came over to the dark side. That's what I'm talking about. I like it.
I've been on the right side, right? I've been on this thing. So, and listen, anybody else have anything? We're still live. Okay, so they ain't knock it down again. So go ahead, man. Red Planet, you've been quiet for a little while. You got something to say, man, on that one?
Man, you're absolutely right. They don't. They de-police us, man. They the funny thing is we don't owe the community. We owe the community some things, but the forfeit our happiness because they tell us who we're supposed to be with or who we're supposed to deal with when they don't forfeit their happiness. When they making all these kids with Pookie and they doing paternity fraud. Not all, but when the ones that are doing it, there's a lot that are doing it. They don't think about the community. They don't say, well, how's this going to affect the community? But it's always on our backs to save the community. And I'm gonna try not to damage the community or try to help the community. But when it comes to who I want to be with and who I want to deal with in my life, that's just, that's out of bounds, I don't owe the community on that,
So
No, see now the funny thing is how long nobody knows how long these relationships are gonna stay after college. Look at Russell Wilson, he got rid of his white girl and then married Sierra. What's his name? Jalen Hurts. I think he only deals with sisters. He got sisters all around him. I think his girlfriend is a sister. She light skinned with a weave or whatever. But his manager is a sister. He got black women all around in his orbit. So I mean, it just depends on the guy. And the last link I was going to show was Medium Man, and he went through the statistics that over $100,000 a year, 70 to 85% of black men still marry black women. After all this bullshit that we get, black men still marry black women, and it's like it's invisible to I don't know, to people just tripping. Hey, what's going on, Big Ant? This guy. Hey man, let's read this. He got a super chat out there. You put a BMU Payne gonna be sleeping on the couch tonight? Yeah, man, I sleep on the couch on a regular basis, man. What can you say? Nah, man. One of the things is
hold on a damn minute. We gonna end that tonight. You tell your wife you did no longer.
I'm only joking. I don't sleep on no goddamn couch. Hey, my daughters bought us a new bed, and it's just nice too, man. Holy shit, man! I said, how did y'all know? She said, "This." My oldest daughter said, "You guys been sleeping in the same bed since we moved in here and shit. It was about time, So they came in with a nice. Oh, this shit's really nice, man. I swear. So I've been sleeping good every night, man. What can I say? But anyhow, listen. I don't know what else to tell you guys, man. I just think the brothers it's time for us to stop taking L's, right? I mean, I just saw The View. I don't know. Let me take that back. I saw a clip of The View when they came out on national TV and told everybody how much they hate men. I thought that was an absolute travesty. And one of the fucking ladies is married. If I was her husband, I would have fucking came on stage and said, "What are you saying?"
Correction.
Yeah.
3 of them were married.
Huh?
One particularly was defending her husband, and they were still attacking her for doing that.
Yeah, man. I said, man,
married.
Can you imagine a panel of us like us? We had a benign conversation. They kicked us off YouTube.
Yeah.
Can you imagine us being around the table saying how much useless women are and all that shit? I couldn't believe how brazen that they were. I mean, these were white women too, but sisters do it all the time. Sisters do it all the time. Ratchet, huh?
Oh, I was gonna say, I can break that down for you.
Old white. All white women. They put that in specific. All white men, older.
I thought white women were docile and they bring you sandwiches and drinks, and you telling me girls on The View talking about they hate niggas?
These chicks are hyenas. Here we go. These chicks are hyenas. I didn't say all white women. I just said these white women are hyenas.
No, y'all said white women will make you some tea and lemonade and chamomile. And mix it up real nice. Y'all just said this. What are we talking about?
We ain't talking about. We're talking about college.
Easy money.
Easy money. Hey, so full of shit, man. You just jumping on anything you can.
It's gotta be the right one, but let's break that down though. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
The reason that they're doing that is because we have to have this whole equality narrative as though the people need to be equal. We're not equal. We're different, but we need each other. That's the brass tacks of what it is, regardless of what you want to say. There's no more people if you don't have both halves. I would not want any of you babysitting a child. I'm sorry, you're dudes. You're gonna suck at it. If I'm laid up right now, I don't necessarily appreciate it as much as when my homies stop by to visit me, as when my ex stops by to visit me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I prefer to be around women. They're more nurturing. I prefer my mom to come over here and grab stuff for me. It's just what it is. The issue is they want to be equal with us at what we do, and they will never win at that game ever. So they're just mad. They're mad. And you can tell it's the same reason that all the quote unquote white people, which is actually the rich people, are divesting themselves from all the poor people in Baton Rouge. Because the way that we are as a society right now, it's not even about having the conversation or being equal. They just want to harm those that they perceive to be their competition. You are the enemy. I just want to harm you. I don't, it's not even about equality. We get paid the same. Oh, well, every woman's not getting paid the same as every CEO. Well, it's like you're not trying to get paid the same as the dude at the McDonald's drive-through window. Like, what same are they looking for? They're not. These are all just escalations and taking shots. They're just parroting a narrative, and they're going, "Oh, well, it's equality. Oh, well, you know, I'm hobbled up with one leg right now. I can still snap your head off. We're not equal. What do you mean we're not? Like, well, we're not in combat stream. Like, you could still come in here with 5 chicks. I'd probably survive this room with one leg. One leg.
You know what I do with women? I always tell them this. I don't care what it is. She said, "Well, why do you think this way?" I just tell her, "Because I'm a man." She said, "Well, why do you want more ice cream on your cone than I do?" "Because I'm a man. You not." I'm a man.
Hey, CBN, hey, Trey Taylor wants the link, man.
Hey, can I get my parting shot? Because I got to go get my kids. So,
all right, man, go ahead, man.
So just real quick, back to your topic. A lot of these dating preferences really just come down to proximity. Whoever you're around is probably whoever you're going to be attracted to. And since we are incredibly segregated in this country, chances are if you don't live in a predominantly black community, the majority of the folks around you are going to be white. Like, that's just what it is. And so these guys grow up in these suburbs and in these, you know, some of them grow up in nicer areas than others. All suburbs aren't created equal. And they get accustomed to a certain type of woman, and that's what they seek out. Now, that being said, that doesn't represent a majority, as we know. Interracial marriages for black men in particular make up roughly 20% of all marriages for black men.
I thought it was
just
15.
Anecdotally. Well, I'm sorry, 15. My bad.
All right.
And just anecdotally, the school that I went to, the Big Ten, college. The majority of the black guys that I knew on that team ended up married to black women, in particularly the ones that made it to the NFL.
All right, so there you go. So there you go. So
we should be unapologetic. If you like a white woman, if you like a goddamn, I don't care what it is. There's no fucking way they could be sitting here talking shit about men, black men, wanting to be with white women when you got motherfucking men wanting to be with men and nobody says shit about that. You got women that want to be with women and nobody say shit about that. How can they even create a family, let alone a black family, right? They celebrate that crazy ass shit.
People do talk about that though, JT. We do talk about that.
They don't put it on. You got your goddamn mind, Easy. You got your fucking mind. They celebrate that.
Man.
Easy, you said you was gonna be out there body rolling with him at the Beyonce concert, man. What are you talking about?
Right.
All these
with
women,
a cowboy hat on.
All these women can celebrate men sucking the dick, but they won't celebrate a white woman sucking the dick. I'm confused.
Oh my god.
Let me get off this, fellas. Y'all take it easy.
All right, man.
Take it easy. All right, bro.
Take it easy.
They would celebrate 2 women having a baby, right? No. They would celebrate 2 women having a baby, right?
Juniors, bitches having a baby.
This La La Land needs to stop. We're talking about men liking white women. Man, get all the white pussy you possibly can. Don't worry about it. You good. You all right.
Nobody does it like Sarah Lee. Go ahead, Trey.
Mm.
Go ahead, Trey. Go ahead, man. What's up?
What up,
up,
Trey? What's going on, partner?
Yeah, I'm all for it. Listen, I watch the draft for one thing and one thing only: to see how many black dudes gonna be with the white girls.
Hey,
Oh my god.
That's the only reason I watch
Oh my
Hey,
god.
hey,
and I also watch it to see if they get bad white chicks or they get mediocre. You know what I mean? And some of them do really well, man. Some of them do really well. I'm like, yeah, she's a baddie. And then some of them, you know, they got the Russell Wilson thing with his first wife, and she wasn't that good looking in the whole nine or whatever. But that's the only reason why I watch it. I enjoy watching the draft because I know every time they scroll that camera to that guy at home and that white girl sitting next to him on the couch, I know a whole bunch of black women pissed the hell off. They mad as hell. And I enjoy it.
Hateful.
Listen, I
Hateful.
am of the same fabric and cloth of JT on this. Man, get as much white, man, get them all. Collect them all like Pokemon. Get them all. Get them all. Because let me explain something to you. There's a certain level of demeanor and canter. There's a certain way that you act when you get to that sort of level when you have that kind of money. And the women that we grew up with, these black women that we grew up with, they don't ever transition to that. They kind of stay the same, right? You used to eat Chick-fil-A and McDonald's, but you're not going to be eating there anymore. Now you go to a restaurant, you have to take the napkin out and put it in your lap, retard. Like, it's different. It's different now, right? The man's got money. He's got a brand. He has a reputation, right? He's on TV. He's got commercials. He can't have you out there licking your fingers like you eating barbecue. That's not how this works anymore. Not how it works. And what I realize is that women that tend to come from families that got a little bit more money, they already understand that this is a change. They also understand that they are a representation of that man. And so they can't go out there being bullshit. They know that I need to look a certain way. I need to act a certain way. I don't get days off. Show me how many athletes' wives you see running around with bonnets on outside.
right.
That doesn't happen because she knows better. She knows that she can't do that. Now, they may do it in jesting and playing around and ha. But when it comes to being serious, these women understand they know their place. They're not going to speak out of turn. They're not going to say nothing crazy, right? Unless you're Paul George's girl and used to be a stripper, then that's a little bit different, right?
Right.
But even she's tame a little bit,
exactly. Right? Even because they understand that they are.
And she worked at a gentleman's club.
They understand they're in a privileged position. You're dating a 1% athlete. You're with a 1% athlete. These guys aren't growing them. Hell, I'm a Commanders fan. We've been looking for a quarterback for 30 years.
Right.
30 years we've been looking for a quarterback. You know what I mean? Like they don't grow these guys. So I am all with it. I love watching the NBA draft. And hell, I watched the hockey draft. It was more black hockey players. I love seeing it because I just know that black women are losing their collective minds. But the problem is that you don't make the transition properly. And at some point in time, you have to grow up. You have to stop being the girlfriend, the high school girlfriend. You have to start being the pro athlete wife.
Can I add to Trey? Not only you can collect them more, there are other countries out there not want you to collect their white woman. They will pay you to marry their white woman. That being said, what country is paying you to marry the black woman? I'll wait and hear.
Yeah, but like I said, but the really thing is that it's correctable. I mean, it's not like it's not correctable. I mean, there's just no will there because the black women just seem to cleave to all the worst fucking things that's out there. And even the ones who don't are not, they're just starting to be brave enough to speak up. Wait a minute, what are we doing? We've priced ourselves out of the market, right? And the market is bigger than 20% of the fucking men. The market is not just the top 20% because that's not rational. Everybody's not going to get one of those guys. Not for real.
Right.
So the delusion for them is so ingrained that it's only like the ones who are coming out of it are coming out of it one at a time. There's no reason in the world because some of them starting to get it. Yeah. But I mean, but it's not, but it needs to be a whole new critical mass. Like, Trey beat this shit out of me, right? That, okay, I'm not going to be able to tell people how to date today. All I do to tell you is that shit's fucked up. And I asked this guy, Sweeney, I think you guys know him. So what are the Gen Zs as a Gen Zer and the Gen Zs, what are their solution to the situation? So he says, well, the women have to change. I said, but as a man, what is the solution? Well, the women have to change. Well, that's not a solution because the solution is external to something that you control, right? The women are going to have to want to change that. So just you saying it is not going to be effective enough. So what you're saying, until they change, you guys are going to live fucking lives of quiet desperation.
No,
I mean,
no, they're going to get bred out. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I was
They're
just about
just
to say
going to
that. You
get
know,
bred
people
out.
die.
They just won't exist. What are you talking?
Yeah.
Like,
no,
Arcade,
wait a minute,
I
Ray.
hate.
Wait, before you going down that path, right? What are they teaching people coming after them? So one of the reasons why our sisters, right, in college don't think about men even when they're young is because what their mothers and grandmothers told them. And some men don't fucking get attached. Have your 20s, your hot girl, whole summers. They're being taught that. That's just ingrained.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
But
so they're teaching their daughters the same fucking thing.
that's fine. The issue that what you're going to see happen culturally, and I mean,
Okay.
honestly, I say it curtly, but the reality is stuff ebbs and flows. So you'll get very far left, then you'll bring it back in, and then it gets very conservative because stuff goes too far either way. People are like, I don't like this. This doesn't work. Where we're at right now is we are so far left that they think that they can do anything. They don't need us. We're useless. Great. We're no longer entertaining you. You go ahead and be a single mother, raise your daughter, and she's going to see how miserable your life is at the end of it. And her daughter, because she's probably going to screw up the same way you did, because the second generation pays for the sins of the parents. But that third generation, that baby that sees these two bitter bitches die alone, terribly, not able to lift stuff, no man around, no one wants to come tolerate them when they're on their last days. They got to live in their spinster hovel with like three other roommates that are women so they can collectively pick up the dog food so that they can feed their dogs.
Yeah.
When they see that, they're going to go, I don't like that. That is not the life that I want to lead. That's exactly what happened with me. I have generations of hard workers in my family. I saw a bunch of broke people that worked hard, and I was like, that's not acceptable. Like I was like, I don't like any of this. Y'all
That's true.
generationally fucking up. Like I'm not doing that. Third generation will figure it out.
I wish that were going to be true, but unfortunately, we downplay the effect of social media. We just had somebody in the comments just talk about the power of social media. The third generation don't give a damn. This is all about gratification. This is all about how they feel. And when you're led by your emotions and your feelings, you make dumbass choices. And black women have chose to make dumbass choices because the only decision they make is based on how they feel. It's not based on rationale. It's not based on logic. It's not based on pragmatism. It's not based on anything that makes any goddamn sense. It's all based on how they feel. And the issue is that how you feel on Tuesday may not be the same way you feel on Friday. That is the biggest problem with going with your feelings. And what do? You've already made a decision based on how you felt on Tuesday. Well, the problem is it's Friday now, and you can't go back. Nobody here has the power to reverse time. All of us are working hard so that we can control the little bit of time we have left. Right. So we have women out here who are constantly making these decisions at the moment based on feelings that have a lifetime of effects. And I'm telling you, my sister, who'll be 35 this year, no kid, never been married, she's third generation. She watched my grandmother and her mother. She's third generation. She's going to be another one that's going to be right down the path. And if she does wind up having a child at some point in time, I guarantee you she'll have a failed relationship like my grandmother and like my mother did, because the onus is not on our women on maintaining relationships. That's not what they're not being taught. That they're not being taught, hey, work through it. Shit's going to be hard. You're not going to like them some days. As a matter of fact, some days you may want to strangle him. You may want to smother him in his sleep some days. But at the end of the day, this is the person you signed up to go the distance with. You're not being taught that. What they're being taught is what you saw in The View, R-Pain. What they're being taught is, I don't really need him. I don't really have to. I can kind of, and we as a society, for whatever fucking reason, are giving kudos to women for being adults. Let's be honest here. We're giving them kudos for adulting. You're simply just taking care of yourself, which is what, I don't know, maybe 250 million other Americans do. You aren't doing anything special. You're not doing anything special, but we've given you credence. We've given you a pathway and say, well, it's good that you're independent. No, sweetheart, you're not independent. You're just doing the same thing all the rest of us are doing, which is surviving.
So we got this comment, all induce black men mess black women all the way up. Is that really?
No. But can I respond to Trey really quick? So Trey, my question is this. So if a population that's running like that, so like if and I 100% agree with everything that you said, because you're correct. And the third generation analogy, I'm figuring at some point somebody's going to look and be like, hey, that's not an outcome that I want. But you're right, social media and the Delulu land that they can run into to get that reinforced, I 100% can acknowledge and see that point. That comes back to the you get bred out then, because if the women are that unruly, and even Lady D down in the chat is talking about, oh, well, I just don't have sex. Like, I don't care. Now you die and don't reproduce. Great. Now you're out of the gene pool. Perfect. That's
Right.
one less unruly person. Now, if the rest of the men, you'll have a small pocket of these ratchets that are left that'll be indefinitely left because dudes are going to screw up, shoot the club up, and then they'll have their baby and go off on their own to have a miserable life, to teach that girl to have a miserable life.
Well, yeah, I know.
But if everyone else goes and we just start seeing more people just start dating out and just start having families again.
Right.
And
Let me tell you what you're gonna have, Ray. In about 200 years, every woman that's supposedly black, she won't be fully black.
Right.
She won't.
That's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
And when I say fully, I mean majority. I don't think anybody's fully black anymore. But when you know what I mean, like majority, her gene pool will not be majority sub-Saharan African. Like that's not what it will be. She will be mixed with a ton of things, because I completely agree with you, Ray. The black woman is like done. Like if they don't get this shit turned around, because men, we're just like I don't white woman, sure. Colombian woman, absolutely. Thai, sure. I'll take Filipino, sure. I'm not gonna fight you. I'm not gonna fight you for you to get your shit together and just be a feminine woman. I'm not gonna fight you for that. Right. If you want to continue down the path you go, that's your legacy. That's your last name. That's your father's last name that you're ruining, not mine. Mine is intact. I'm good. My daughter has my last name. I'm good to go. I have to teach her how to be a wife to a man now. That's all I have to do. So that some part of me continues on. Right? But I completely agree with you, Ray. If they don't get this shit figured out, when I mean dead seriously, you will see a brown-skinned woman. I don't know if you guys saw that picture, but it's like this is what all this is what all humans are gonna look like in like 200 years, and it's like the racially ambiguous. Like she's like golden brown skin with like the curlies. That's gonna be considered a black woman. That's what a black woman will be considered in about 200 years. You will very rarely see the dark-skinned chocolate sister coming, because there will be so much commingling, you know what I mean, of the genes and the genetics, that you'll be hard pressed to see a dark skinned black woman that has African roots. That will be hard pressed. You will be hard pressed to see that, and it'll simply be because they chose everything else except for the man and the family. They chose. Well,
you're gonna be stuck with me, Trey, or Mahomes. Those are your options.
I've said this several times, that I believe that integration and race mixing, faith mixing, all that stuff is it's evolutionary. I always say that, and it's inevitable. It's both of those things, So I really don't see any issue with it, because, and I'm not going to say this came out of the Bible, but I don't think I kind of think that's what God intended. Figure this shit out. Because you know what? I only have one race. I put one race of humans down there. Not, all the other divisions is what we've made. Right? That's why we can mate all across the world with Alaskan, Malay, women or any women, right? All of our seed works in every other woman. So so I think we're just meant to be just humans. And I think that's an evolutionary state that we need to get to. And it's going to take centuries, of course. But our biggest issue now is really class. It's not even race anymore, even right now. So I don't know, man. So I say kudos to the brother. Love who loves you back. Cleave to who cleaves to you and gives you the best peace. And if she happens to be a white woman, so be it, man. A Hispanic chick or Asian chick, whatever it is. I mean, that's just the way it should be. You know? I don't know. So anybody else? I don't know. We hit this hit any parting thoughts? How about you, Red Planet?
Yeah, I think women have to be forced to be women have to be forced to reform. So basically, if they don't want to change, if they don't want to compete, there's passport bros, there's SYSBM with guys, with the snow bunnies. There's guys that have just dropped out the whole, dating pool. So either they're gonna change and comply with what the market wants, or the market is gonna go somewhere else. And then I land my plane right there.
Yeah. So let me land. So the only word I would push back on is forced. Right. I mean, I know you're just using that as a good term, but do you mean anything more by force except that
I don't mean by grabbing them or nothing, man.
Yeah.
I mean basically.
I do know that's what you really meant. But so the word's really not forced. They need
the word is forced.
They need to be compelled,
that's
by themselves.
Right, that's our problem right there.
Yep.
Our problem as men is we keep trying to sugarcoat this and make this soft. No, the word is forced. You don't want to do it. We don't give a damn. You're going to do it.
Okay, so I agree. Okay, I agree with that. All right. Okay.
Like vote. What do they say? Vote with your feet. The men are voting with their feet.
Yep.
There you go. So so that's why we put Trey up there. The words force. The words force. I got you. Okay, Ray, what you got, man?
Oh no, I was agreeing with both of them. Trey's 100% right. Like, we have to start saying things how it is, because the reason that we've gotten to the point that we're at is exactly what Trey and the brother over here on my other side are saying. We haven't said stuff. What is it?
Would you like to go by, Mars or Red Planet?
Either or,
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna call him RP because it sounds dope. Okay, but RP over here, just like what he was saying, is we've sugarcoated and we've made everything pleasant, and it's what happens when you win. And men fix problems, and we fixed all the problems, and so then we became the problem. So we started fixing ourselves, which created neutered men and women who can't receive any type of critique. Say what it is. It is forced because you're reinforcing or counter enforcing a behavior. Men don't like the behavior. The consequence of the behavior is you don't get to have a husband covering. You're going to be out here on your own. Most of you are going to be shacking up with dudes and getting child support. That's not going to be what you would get if you got a D1 athlete to get you knocked up. That's not everyone. That's a small percentage of people. You're going to get $50 and you're going to have a bad life. That's what's in store. But let them find out. Like that's fine. Like this, what we're looking at is societal fuck around and find out. Because men don't have to be. This only lasts as long as we keep entertaining it. Because I guarantee you, if all the dudes just went, cool, these chicks are unruly, I'm not having sex with those chicks. I'll go find chicks that are pleasant to have sex with. I'm not even saying don't have sex. I'm saying don't have sex with them.
There you go.
This shit immediately, because they still want that. Where are they going to go get it? Because specific to Americans, don't nobody else want to really deal with that shit. So you either fix the behavior, and even if it's fixing the behavior for someone from another culture, the behavior is still fixed. Forced.
Okay. Hey, sis, listen, before we go, I know, Trey, you could go one. I did have one more clip. And I wanted to show that clip because we got some time, because I know Grace is going to come up in around 45 minutes. So CBN,
the clip you want to show, like BMU said, if you're part of a YouTube link, that will shut down our stream.
Okay, so no more clips. Okay, no more clips. That's cool. Well, anyway, Medium Man, if anybody ever saw his channel, he goes through the stats. So he goes through the stats saying that all of this shit is like, when we're talking about these college athletes who are going into the pros with white women, he has a stat from 3 different sources, credible sources, and actually written by black women, by the way, that show that 75 to 85% of black men, 79 to 85% in the last 4 years, this is where the stats came from, black men are married to black women. And these black men are all making over $100,000 a year. Those men who are making. So this whole notion that black men leave black women because we got money. It's just complete horseshit. If the numbers are so small that do it, it's really so. But they're the most visible when you had a draft day and there's millions of people watching. You can get this recency bias thinking that everybody's doing it. It's just not true. But anyway, so you get your Umar Johnsons out there so you can get on his high horse and talk.
Umar's going crazy right now, man.
He's going crazy.
Well, Umar does this every year because there's a
I
draft
know.
every year.
Every year.
So this he's guaranteed to have at least 2 forms of content on the NBA draft night and NBA draft night. He knows for sure he'll have more content. But the fact of the matter is that if Umar is serious about getting the community back together, he needs to address the women.
Right.
If he's truly serious about fixing these problems, which is why I don't take him seriously and I think he's a joke. The truth of the matter is that you would address the women because you wouldn't be so worried about lining your pockets with their money. See, as long as they're paying him, he's never going to go against them. One thing I can always respect about KS is he didn't give a damn about them women paying him. I can give him, I can at least give him that much. He was going to say what needed to be said, whether you liked it or not. It wasn't about that. The fact of the matter is, and that's why I keep saying, we do need to start telling women you're useless. You are useless. If you're not having sex or taking care of a child or take care of a home, you are fucking useless. and that is the issue because nobody wants to hurt anybody's feelings. And Ray said it earlier, the men are neutered, and he's absolutely 100% correct. The men are neutered. Tell her. I have told women, if we ain't fucking, I have no use for you. You can't do anything for me. I have done everything on my own. I've built everything. I don't need you to make money. I've done it without you. What you can do is you can feed me, fuck me, and leave me the hell alone. That's what you can do.
God.
And the problem is that we refuse to tell women the truth. We don't want to hurt their feelings because there might be a slim to small chance that she might actually let me stick my thumb in her butt at some point in time. No, that's not what the case is. If she wanted to have sex with you, she would have already had sex with you. And so if she hasn't had sex with you, sir, then more than likely you ain't getting it. So you might as well be honest with her and tell her the truth. You're fat, you're overweight, you're disrespectful. Tell her the truth because you can't lose. I don't understand it. I say that to women all the time. Like, I ask them straight up, are we going to have sex? No? Then I'm going to tell you the absolute 100% truth. Because I'm not gaining anything from you. Now, I will say this, though. There is a distinction between personal and professional. Do I think that you can teach a woman a professional skill and that she could be useful in the workplace? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm not talking about workplace and professional situation. I'm talking about purely from a romantic and personal standpoint. If she's not having sex with you, I can cook my own food. I can clean my own house. I did my laundry. I started doing my laundry when I was 8. I don't need you to wash my clothes. I can iron and steam my own clothes. If not, I'll take them to the cleaners. Like, you're not really needed. I don't really need you to do anything for me. Men have always made the choice that I'm willing to have you here because I'm selfless and I want to give what I have to you. That's how it's always been. Most men want to give. Even if they're building, if they don't have it yet, they build it so they can give it. You hear men say all the time, what's the point of having all this money? What's the point of having all this if I don't have anybody to share it with? Men say that shit all the time.
All the time.
Because they build it so they can give it away. That's the point. But how often do you hear women say, I'm building this so that I can get a husband to give? No, they build it so they can go on and say, well, I don't really need a man anymore because I'm making a whole lot of money. Man, get out of here. No, we need to start telling women straight to their face, you are fucking useless. Straight to your face. Stop coddling these women. Treat them like adults. Or continue to be neutered like Ray said.
Let me add to what Trey. What Trey said, totally 1,000% correct. And here, what I think is very ignorant. We have too many black women are flaunting their value as if it was something. When I mentioned earlier, there are other nations that paying foreign men to marry their women. They're saying there is real value in their women. That's why I asked the question: what nation is paying men to marry their black woman, aka African? And what the U.S. is not putting no deal. Come marry our African American woman, we'll pay you. We will put a house over you. That's not happening because they know there's no value in these black women. I hate to say the honest truth because if a nation doing such a thing to promote their woman of value and willing to give you money every month, every year for no how many other years, put money down for your house and everything, and then some, and do extra more for you so you can build your family. I watched that clip this morning. Multiple foreign countries are doing that, which is kind of crazy. So I said, let me flip the script. Which country promoting their black women with single moms? Say, oh, marry our single moms, and we will pay you. We will put you doing for no one's doing that. Reason why? There's no value in that. It's just like the stock market. BMU would say, who gonna be that dumb enough to invest in a company knowing gonna go belly up? Only a simple do that.
So let me ask you a
That
question.
being said, go ahead.
Let me ask y'all a question then. So we're starting to see little inklings of women starting to say different shit, right? Starting to call each other out. Is it too little, too late?
No, it's
Too
not.
late.
It's not too late. But the problem is that men enforce laws. Unfortunately, in order to get women in line, women can't do it. Men have to do it. And so, yes, while it's cool that you have women who are speaking out, and we have a lot of women that come through here that speak out and say what needs to be said on these platforms. But the problem is that's all they can do. That's all they can do is just speak on it, right? Anytime you want a fundamental change in policy, in law, in society, men lead the charge. I say this all the time. Women talk about the right to vote. Sweetie, there were no women in the Senate when it was time to vote. It was men. Men did it.
Okay, but now there are women in there, and now
But
that
it's
they
still
have,
not the majority. It's not the majority. And if you still want things to change, this is still a man's world. Men lead. So in order for anything to change, men need to do it.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Trado. Okay, and it's true. So why? I mean, I know about the neutered and all this shit. So why are so many men voting against our best interests with all this bullshit?
Because it feels good.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, the thing that one of the things that RP said, the only thing he said the whole night that I've really disagreed with was when he was talking about, oh, well, we got to be happy too. Legacy ain't about being happy. Being married really ain't about being happy. Fulfillment, I can rock with you on. But like, as far as being, if you want to be happy, be out here and follow what Trey does, because that motherfucker's happy every goddamn day, doing what he wants to fucking do, and he's happy. But like, if you're entering into a relationship, happiness, I mean, when you happiness is the sugar of life. Like, it's cool, but like, you
It's
don't
gonna
want it
fuck
all
you
the
up
time.
later.
Exactly. Like, it's good in spurts. Like, it's nice to have a piece of cake. If you eat a bunch of cake, you're gonna end up like these modern ass black women that's sitting out here running around 400 pounds and shit. Like,
Hey,
it's just not good for you.
Ray. And what happens when you have a sugar withdrawal? Your body
Facts.
literally think about it.
Migraines.
And this is the same thing that happens with people, and that's not even a woman thing. This is just a human being thing. When people go through these sort of happiness withdrawals, look at them. Look how they
Yep.
are.
Yep.
It's the same as sugar. I say all the time, happiness comes from within. It is an inside job. Nobody can make you happy. Nobody can make you unhappy. It's all based on you and what you do. The reason why I am constantly, and I'm happy. I get on here. I get a little riled up on here, but most of the time I'm smiling. I live a good life. I'm retired at 35. I'm happy. I'm sitting outside chilling with y'all. You know what I mean?
I'm hating on you on that. You
Yeah,
retired at 35. I'm still working.
I'm good to go. But here's the thing. What happens, our pain, is you've been taught, not you, but women have been taught since they were small children, something I have to make sure that I don't do to my daughter, right? That her happiness comes from this and this and this, and somebody can give her this and it'll make her happy. I constantly teach my daughter she's responsible for her happiness. Why are you happy? Yes. What did you do to make yourself happy? Well, I did this and I did that and I drew this and I made this and it's always, okay, I did this for me because this made me happy. I'm not really concerned about what other people are doing for me. She'll be a better person for her man in the future if she can control her own emotions. And that is a part of emotional intelligence. We always talk about this emotional intelligence BS, right? But Emotional intelligence is being able to control your own emotions.
I
and
agree.
manage others. You can't. How are you more emotionally intelligent than me? You can't even control your own shit.
And
Yeah,
that, and that book
you know, a
got,
lot of women
got
don't
destroyed.
realize
But
that it was a man who wrote that book anyway.
I know,
The
but here's
first,
the problem. It
yeah,
took a sister to correct a audience for the women, telling them, you know nothing about emotional intelligence because emotional intelligence falls on the men's side of things, not the women's side of things. When I watched that clip, I'm sure everybody have seen that clip already on the Tonight conversation, and she broke it down. You ask for a man who has emotional intelligence. The problem is they don't have the fortitude, nor the
can
platitude,
handle it.
nor the qualification
Uh-huh.
to deal with a man who is emotionally intelligent. Because you know why? That man will be quick to shut your ass down immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they want that. To be 1,000% honest right here, 98% of the hyenas could never deal with a man who have emotional intelligence. Do you know why? The moment his radar system pick up a noise, either she's out the door, she's out the window, she get taken out, or she get
Mm,
thrown out.
Let me
Right
tell
off
you
the
this:
back.
Right.
they don't have to be hyenas either. Like I tell people, you know, that just because I got married, that my wife never stopped being a woman, right? So the fact
Right.
is, every so often, you know, we have to check each other. But for her, she still is from the school where when I tell her something, this recently I told her to do something, right? But not only did I tell her to do something, I said, listen, this is what we're gonna do because we got to change something that's going on. I said, I want you to move this from here to there, and here's the space that I'm clearing for you. She got a little pouty because she was comfortable with the way things were. And I told her, I said, listen, you shouldn't be mad at me. And then she just said, well, you know, you can't tell me not to be mad. I said, I'm not telling you you can't be mad. I'm saying you shouldn't be mad at me. I'm
Me.
just saying, you know, that's what I said. You shouldn't be mad at me.
Mhm.
I said, I set
Right.
this stuff. I set this stuff up. I didn't just tell you to do something. I actually solved the issue for you. So what you need to do is be a little
Right.
inconvenient. Move it here. She thought about it. I said, I let her alone. 3 minutes later, she's all kissing me again. Oh yeah, I understand. Blah blah blah. You know, but that's how we deal with us. You know, because she understands that anything I say to her like that is not because I'm trying to be masterful over her. You know, this is something we just correct. It's a small thing, but you shouldn't be upset over those kind of things. So, you know,
But
I mean, but
I
every so
get I
often
get
they
what you're
slip.
saying.
That's why I tell guys every so often you got to catch your women if they slip, and
But
you
you
can't
have a
let it
woman,
So
compound. You got to grab them and
so
bring them back.
so
Pain.
so our
You
pain.
have a woman. You don't have a hyena. Hyena is different from a woman.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm
Right.
just saying they don't have to be hyenas. Every so often you still got to be willing to check them, even if they ain't hyenas.
Yeah.
Well, no, because
Every now and then a woman's check engine light comes on, and you got to take it
Yeah,
off for
facts.
service.
yeah, yeah.
But our pain. I was gonna say in
Tell me
regards
I'm
to what
wrong,
you were
black
saying,
lady.
in regards to what you were saying about the women who are trying to check other women. Look at who it is. They're married. They have men. Like, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, this goes back to my thesis on this. All wives are found, all of them. If you're a woman, and I'm not gonna, because double standards do exist, and men, we can produce babies for forever. So if you are a woman and you're past 30 and nobody's eyeing you, nobody's working on you, nobody's got you under their covering already, there's a high probability you're just not a fucking wife. Like, let's keep it a stack. You've been on this planet for 3 whole decades, 2 whole decades on the dating market doing whatever the fuck you want, and you can't figure it out. You can't find one guy who wants to keep you in his house. You're not a wife.
No, you're a
Like,
loser.
right, dude. Like, I'll be out
No,
here and like
I'm
these.
dead. I'm dead. You know what? We are paying. Tell me I'm lying. Do we not? If we saw a man who was not getting to the money, he was out of shape, he was lazy, he was a lot of things. What would we call? We would call him straight to his face. You're a loser,
Yeah,
and you need to
yeah.
get your life.
Right.
We would spare no adjective to describe how pathetic he is. Well, guess what, ladies? You can be losers too.
Sure.
You can be a loser too if you're a 30-plus-year-old woman. You haven't been able to maintain a relationship. You haven't been able to maintain a marriage. You aren't in shape. You're not good. Whatever the case may be, you can be a loser too. And I'm gonna give you a little food for thought. No matter how high up in your career you get, you can be the CEO of goddamn Walmart and Coca-Cola combined. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you as a woman will always be judged on how well you raised your family and how good of a wife you were to your husband. That's how it goes. That's how it's always been. That's how it will always be. That's not going to change. And if you can't do that, then you are a loser. And I am going to start telling women to their face, you're a fucking loser. Get out of my face. I'm serious, man. We gotta stop
For real
this.
though.
We gotta
For real
stop this
though.
old coddling thing. Women can be losers too. We have no problems calling men losers. We need to start calling women losers. And what Ray described is a perfect example of an L woman. We got a ton of them running around here trying to make it seem like with their overinflated sense of self-worth, they're trying to make it seem like they're not losers, when in fact, you are losers. And let me tell you something, black women, you're at the bottom of damn near every category. Evictions, STIs, out of wedlock birth rates, consumer debt, bankruptcies, student loan debt. You guys at the bottom of you're the least desired. You come behind Asian women and they can't even drive. You come behind everything. Y'all are losing. And at what point in time do black women say, we're tired of losing? We're tired of being left. You know what black women are? Black women are the Cleveland Browns and the Detroit Lions of the female species. They are always perennially in last place. And what point in time do you stop wanting to be in last place? You can't say that about black men. And we may not be number one, but we for damn sure ain't pulling up the rear either. We're like number 2 or number 3. We ain't pulling up the rear either. We've gotten better over time. Black men have gotten much better to start making more money. I just read an article, Ray, that talked about the newest crop, the biggest crop of newest investors in the stock market was black men. I was very impressed. I was highly impressed, and I was proud that these young black brothers are starting to put their money to work. So black men have gotten better. 50% of black men are childless, right? They don't have kids. The other 30% are married. It's a small percentage of black men out here running around getting all the women pregnant. Black men have gotten better. Well, meanwhile, black women have gotten worse. Losers.
So, Trey, you know what's real interesting about that breakdown is we took the hard criticism and improved. We took the criticism and they were like, y'all broke. You a broke nigga. Y'all broke niggas. Y'all all bummy. Y'all dusty. Da 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 da. We went and said, okay.
And we got better.
and they don't even want to acknowledge that. That's the crazy part. It's like,
got better. Yeah, young black men.
So let me add this. Let me add this because you hit a point, and that's why I'm against DEI and all this other shit, right? Because remember when John Thompson was coach and they raised the C, you had to have a C average in order to get a scholarship, and then all the black coaches said, "Well, black kids can't do this, they can't do that," and blah blah blah. He walked off the court. You guys might not remember that, but I do. And guess what? All the fucking kids, they wanted to play ball. All their grades went up. All of their black kids, their grades went up, man. They competed and their grades went up. They didn't lose those scholarships. And then I remember Stern, who was probably no real friend of black people, when he told all the NBA players, you got to stop coming to the goddamn stadiums looking like fucking thugs.
Look like a professional.
Okay, they bitched and moaned this racism until the first dude came in decked down in a suit. And now all of the motherfuckers are fashionistas. All of them. I mean, they all want to outdo each other, right? And the grade, the just by dressing better, the image of the NBA went up. You know? And so that's why I'm saying when we're challenged as black men, we always meet the challenge, what's making us so dangerous. That's why, they say all this other
challenge our pain. But we exceeded and we make it cool.
Facts.
To your point, our pain. Now they have an entire camera that follows the guys when they walk in just to see what they wearing.
Yeah, exactly.
So we took something that may have been intended to Had some racist undertones, probably. It's David Stern, so it could have, right? Possibly.
Yeah.
We took something that they really didn't like to do, and we turned it into a positive. Like, I don't know, we do everything.
Yeah,
Right.
there's no doubt. That's why
we are a resilient and adaptable fucking people. Like and that's unique to the black people in America. That's special to us. Like,
that's another reason why.
Without trying to add.
Let me just say this one thing. Go ahead before I let you go. Wait, one more thing. Let me just say this real quick. The last thing I was going to say, and then you can go. Even that's why black fathers are supposed to be the best, right? Because this whole task about getting your kids ready and keeping the house straight, it's a logical task. That's just done so easy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with that we wouldn't get haggard over that shit. The kids, I told you to go here, do this, let's eat, let's go to bed, boom. We don't have to go. You know, the women they don't see it that easy. They'll have a man who does the same shit that they complain about and make it look easy.
You know what I did, R-Pain? I put a system in place. You know what my daughter does the first thing she gets up? She makes her bed. Because when she was younger, the first thing she had a little Minnie Mouse bed, R-Pain. And every morning we would get up and I would say, before she walked around, I said, hold on, little lady. Your bed's not made up. Oh, I'm sorry, Daddy, you're right. And she'd go back in and she'd make her bed up. Until it got to the point where she would just wake up and she would come in the room and tell me, Daddy, I made my bed. See, men, we put systems in place.
Yeah.
We put systems in place so that people understand this is my role, this is my responsibility. And as long as you do what you're supposed to do, there'll be no smoke and no furniture movement in the house. There'll be no problem. I always got in trouble inside the house when I got off the system.
Yep.
When I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do, got off the system. The kids in my home, they get in trouble when what? When they get off the system.
Absolutely.
Right? Mm-hmm. That's the issue. That's the difference. This is why you need to have a man in the house, because women typically don't operate that way. They don't operate in systems and things like that. They kind of operate, well, you don't have to make your bed up today because like nobody's coming over to the house. And no. You make your bed up every day. It's the first task you do, so that way you know that you've completed something for the day. If you do nothing else, you at least made your bed up.
All right, CBN, what you got?
Well, I was trying to add on before I got cut off a couple of times. Not only are black men together creating businesses, but they're creating business that end up becoming corporation. Because shout out to William Martin Unfiltered, all these so-called women say, I got a business. How many employees do you have under your umbrella? Are you putting on top of that? A lot of these so-called businesses either have 2 to 5 employees and go back down to 1 by themselves. Black men are coming together, investing, creating businesses that end up becoming corporation along the way. Keyword, corporate. With me, we have more than 100 or 1,000 people under your umbrella working for you. Those are called real businesses. Not all the, I got a business and you only got 1 or 2 working for you, and that's not a business. That's a hangout.
Yep. Hey, listen, we're getting close to that time, so we're going to have to go ahead and pull out. Anybody have some last words there? Real quick, because I know 9:30 is the.
All I gotta say is when me and Trey's powers align, bro, we're the best fusion in Dragon Ball Z, and we're unstoppable. And y'all need to remember that shit.
We are the world heavyweight tag team champions.
We turn into a panel version of Mike Tyson, bro. We're unstoppable. We're indomitable. Our defenses is impregnable.
Hey man, hey Lou, next time, man. Hey, listen, gentlemen. Hey, listen, I'm glad for coming up, man. Thanks for coming up, man. We had a nice little discussion. I know it was 2 parts, but hey, listen, the bottom line is, brothers, if you're out there, love who loves you back, man. Make sure you cover your back, and no matter what you do, don't leave yourself out there. If you got assets, get a prenup. If you got, but don't be forced to do anything because of the color of your skin. We've been doing that shit for too long, and it's not helping us. Anyway, I don't have anything else, gentlemen. Thank you, and until next time.
Good show, man. Good show.
Thank you.
Great show.
All right. Take us out of here.